And then you got acquired by Byte Foods. Can you tell us more or less what was that process about and how much time did it take to this exit?
I see. I see. So okay, and before I answer the question, let me just close the loop here. And so basically, uh, I talked about how we got our seed round, right? And then just to close the loop, the following rounds, typically um, in Silicon Valley, you have the seed round, and then you have the Series A, B, C, D, right, and so on. It's basically the same process. Each time you get some money, you try to refine your product more. You try to do more marketing, right? And then you get more customer, and then you show more traction, and then you go to you and then you try to raise your next round, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then and so on and so forth. So that's the process. Now going back to answer your question about getting the company acquired, it's actually kind of similar to raising funding. Basically, it's also a process of selling something, right? So when you're trying to raise money, you are selling an idea. You are selling your company's equity, right? Uh, like trying to get a company acquired is it's basically like selling a company. So what we did was that once we decided that we wanted to sell the company, we came up with a list of potential acquirers, right? Um, from the large ones like Google and Amazon to smaller ones like Byte Foods, and then we just walk down this list. We find the best connection we can to this list of potential buyers, and then we try to establish meeting, right? And then like go to the meeting prepared with a pitch, right? With a message to deliver, right? And so very similar to raising money, right? You set up a meeting with investor, and then you go there, you pitch your idea, right? And then hopefully hopefully they'll be interested, right? So I was saying, the one biggest thing that is different from between raising money and selling the company is that selling a company actually takes significantly longer, just because like investing money at the end of the day, it's just writing a check, right? It's like you go to well, okay, it's more than that, but at the end of the day, it's just money, right? But when you actually acquire a company, when you buy a company, right, there is a lot more things that need to be involved. Like, for example, how do you absorb this company, right? How do you where do you place them, right? Does this company that you are buying fits the product roadmap of the acquiring company, right? And so there are a lot more things to consider, and so that's why usually the buying side of the company is very reluctant to move it. That's why it takes a very long time. So I've seen, yeah. So it's sometimes it's useful if you have multiple competing offers on the table, right? To try to force them to move faster, right? Sometimes it's more helpful if you have some forcing functions on the table, right? Like for example, you say, hey, if on April the 1st, if you don't buy us, then we're going to run out of cash, right? Then we're going to go into bankruptcy, right? So all these can be forcing functions to move the process faster. Now, of course, if you're going to bankruptcy and you're trying to fire sell the company, right, you're not going to have a good deal, right? So if the smarter approach is, in general. I'm not talking about Pantry, but in general, right? The smarter approach is for you to establish a relationship long before you need it, right? Just as like anything in life, right? You have a relationship long before you need it. Like for example, just like hypothetically, right? Let's say like you want to sell your company to Google, right? It would be very smart to have a conversation going like maybe 2 years, before the event, right? 2 years before the event, and then it would be even better if you can somehow turn your product's roadmap to fit Google's product roadmap, right? And so in 2 years, Google will say, hey, we want to, I don't know, have a product that does this, I don't know, connect cell phone to human brain, right? Now, however, we are Google, we are a giant company, we move too slowly, and this company, in Peru, right, has figured it out. So, well, let's buy them, right? So, that's when that happens, your company will get a very, very good valuation, right? Versus if you say, hey, Google, I'm going to run out of money tomorrow, please buy me, right? Then it's the valuation is not going to be good, right?